Well, thank you for joining us on today's Ask the Mayor program. We have a very special guest with us today. Dr. Skip Sullivan, who is the president of West Central Technical College, is going to join us to talk about the college system that we have here in West Georgia. So, please stay tuned. Well, thank you for joining us on today's Ask the Mayor program. We have a very special guest with us today, Dr. Skip Sullivan. Dr. Sullivan, thank you very much for taking the time out of your day to be here today.
I'm delighted to be here with you, Mayor.
Dr. Sullivan is president of West Central Technical College, and Dr. Sullivan, I wonder if we could start today's program with just telling our audience a little bit about West Central, and I doubt it, but we may have some people in Douglas County that don't know about West Central, and so if we could just start today's program just with a kind of a general overview about the college.
I'd be delighted. West Central Technical College is a member or unit of the Technical College System of Georgia. The Technical College Systems in Georgia basically has as its mission three things. One is technical education. Those are the technical programs you think about when you think of a technical school or something of that nature, but technical programs, and they come in all forms and fashions. Adult education, which is adult basic ed, English as a second language, and coursework leading to folks taking their GED and getting that certification. And then economic development. Economic development, workforce development is also key to the mission of the Technical College System of Georgia. As a member or unit of the Technical College System of Georgia, West Central has 4 campuses. We serve 4 counties, so we have a campus in Haralson County. We refer to it as our Murphy campus. We have a campus in Carrollton, Georgia, our Carroll campus, which used to be Carroll Tech.
Okay, I remember that.
We have a campus in Coweta at the home of the CEC, the Central Educational Center, and we also have the campus in Douglasville here, right off of Timber Ridge Road.
Well, I know that actually you just celebrated a birthday, right?
We just had a big celebration.
That's right.
Our 40th anniversary. Again, 40 years ago, everything started in Carroll County at Carroll Tech, and my, how we've grown since those first 125 students to this fall having almost 4,300 credit students in our programs and at the college. So we had a great time. We had a celebration. We had a lot of folks out visiting the campuses, and it was just a good time to celebrate that milestone.
Well, great. And I know that the enrollment at your campuses has been growing tremendously, as I understand.
Just got the word last Friday. Again, we're the fastest growing technical college in the state of Georgia. As far as the percentage of growth, a lot of things might contribute to that, but we know we're doing a lot of good things at the technical college to begin with. We've got wonderful faculty, wonderful staff. But additionally, when the economy softens a bit on occasion, folks want to go back to school and retool a little bit or find new skills or take something that might insulate them for the future in the event they may lose their job.
You mentioned CEC and being one of your programs. I wonder if you could just take an opportunity to elaborate on that and talk about some of the other opportunities that someone would have, the kind of classes that you offer.
Let me just tell you a little bit about the CEC. It's one of the charter technical schools that's now popping up around the state. In fact, here in Douglas County, the CCI is one of the charter technical schools or charter career academies that's being developed. The 3 partners in that's West Central Technical College, the Chamber of Commerce, and the Douglas County School System have collaborated to get a charter to teach occupational programs in a dual enrollment format. So the model was the CEC. It's been in existence for about 7 or 8 years, and it is the model that we're using across the state to develop this new entity that we call career academies, supported by the legislature, by our Lieutenant Governor extremely well, and we look forward to things happening there. In fact, if you go behind our campus in Douglasville here, you'll see construction underway right now. We're excited that a building of approximately 55 to 60,000 square feet is being constructed to house that career academy there. We call it the CCI, and we're looking forward to a great collaboration. As far as programs, we have over 90 programs of study in our technical ed programs. We divide them basically in 4 categories. We have general education classes, of course, the math, the English, the psychology, the science classes, and things of this nature. We have business programs that include marketing, management, business, computer information systems, and others. We have trade and industry. Those are some of the hardcore skills you may think of.
Right.
The automotive repair, the welding, the machine tool, cosmetology also fits in that division, culinary arts, things of this nature. And then fourthly, the other division is our allied healthcare programs. West Central Technical College has a lot of allied healthcare programs. They're spread out throughout our campuses. We have dental assisting, dental hygiene, radiography, LPN program, RN program, surgical tech, clinical lab technology, medical lab assisting, and the list goes on
Sure.
in terms of medical programs, and that draws a lot of interest. There are lots of jobs out there right now for the allied healthcare programs. So we have tons of programs, and we look to grow those numbers as we continue to grow as a college as well.
You know, the initiative where, and maybe you could tell our audience a little bit about how that works. If I'm a high school student and I'm a senior and I want to participate in this program, the way I go to school is going to differ a little bit. The way I go to high school is going to differ a little bit. Could we elaborate on
Sure.
that? And that's a great opportunity for high school students, I think.
Sure, the possibility exists now through the dual enrollment process that a student can take a college course, a college level course, and also count it for high school graduation requirements. By doing that, they can also begin to develop skill sets so when they graduate from high school, they have a certificate or a number of certificates that prepare them to immediately enter the workforce. It's not, let me go do this for a few years and then
Right.
start developing my career right out of high school. They can get skill sets to get their foot in the door, to begin doing some things and actually making very good money. But they remain a high school student, and they're also a college student at the same time. So that blending of the student body, they're taking college curriculum. It's sometimes a little bit more difficult, but it's geared toward the actual training that they will need to perform a skill or a job once they graduate from school.
So if I'm a high school senior, I'm going to be going to West Central a part of the day or certain numbers of days. I'm not sure how that works.
Sure. Well, a student, if they have interest, they would speak with their counselor. The counselor would kind of help them develop their area of interest. Let's say, for this purpose of this discussion,
Right.
It's automotive technology repair.
Okay.
Some guys interested in repairing automobiles, and as you know, Mayor, automobiles are not what they used to be.
That's exactly
It's
right.
not getting your fingers dirty all the time. It's replacing computer chips and computer analysis and things like that. But they express that interest to their counselor, and the counselor works with the college to develop them a slot or a space in that program during the day. So they may attend part of the time at their base high school and spend the rest of the time, morning or afternoon, depending on how it's structured, at the CCI there in Douglasville, learning those skill sets. Again, once they graduate from high school, they're ready to go to work. Many times they'll graduate from the technical school before they do high school.
Oh, really?
So they'll have those credentials even before they get graduated from high school.
Well, that's a tremendous benefit for our community, because when I graduated from high school, then you had to pursue a 4-year degree before you could really get a job, to be quite honest with you. And I know that in this tough economic time that we're in now, I saw a report a few days ago that said those technical jobs, nurses, dentists, well, I guess a dentist is really not a technical job, but technical skills, any job with technical skills. Joe the plumber, we've heard a lot about Joe the plumber on TV. Those are the professions that seem to be insulated from the downturn in our economy, because you've got to have a plumber, you've got to have an electrician, you've got to have someone to work on your car when it breaks. So truly, those are the people in this economy that seem to be doing quite well out of your college.
We find that our students are, one, prepared for the workplace, but at a placement rate last year of 99%. Our students who took the courses, completed them, 99% of them either went directly to work in the field that they had prepared for or continued their education at another institution. So we're quite proud of that, and hardly no one, it's hard to get much better than 99%. Right. But yeah, we find that many of the technical programs that we offer are insulated from some of the issues as it goes on in our economy. We're always going to get our hair cut.
Sure.
We're always going to need in summertime, if your air conditioner goes out, you're about willing to pay anything to get that air conditioner fixed. Someone told me the other day, he says, you know, when that happens, are you really looking for a summa cum laude to get that air conditioner fixed? I said, no, we're probably looking for a Bubba come quickly more than anything. But yeah, our skill sets are strong and a lot of different programs. And we find a lot of students will take a program and say, oh, I like this, but I also want to develop this skill as well. So it helps me as I'm working in a side industry that I've got a number of different skill sets in the event technology changes, I can also do this, and technology changes again, I can do this, and then go back to school and get those new skill sets. So,
you mentioned going back to school. Now, it's my understanding now in the West Central system, for example, a lot of the classes that they're taking, if they decide in the process of going to school that they want to continue their education, then they can transfer a lot of the credits. Is that, how does that work?
Any transfer of credits is based on what a receiving institution will take. In other words, you can take a math and English and a psychology course from us. You check with Kennesaw, they do take those. You check with the school that you wish to attend, and they will determine which courses they take. But many of our courses, particularly the general education courses, are readily accepted by a lot of our universities. We have agreements, articulation agreements with Kennesaw, with Mercer University, with Bruton Parker, a number of colleges. We have one with the University of West Georgia, so that a lot of the credits that students may take with us can transfer over. And at $36 a credit hour, there's not much better deal out there than what we offer.
Did I hear right? $36 a credit hour?
Well, it's incredible that it's that cheap, but the big thing is most students don't even pay $36 a credit hour. Hope typically covers the cost of tuition and some of the cost of books. So the out-of-pocket expense for the majority of our students is almost zero to go back to school.
So you could get your core classes out of the way, live here in Douglasville or in Temple or Carrollton or wherever the colleges are, get those core classes out of the way at almost nothing with the Hope, and then transfer the majority of those to colleges that you've got the agreements with.
That's correct, yes. And we have more and more students taking advantage of that. You know, living at home, even though students might not want to live at home right when they graduate from high school, parents and students as well find that the economy of that is certainly something that's very attractive. So yeah, there's a lot of opportunity in that regard.
What are the basic qualifications for someone that might want to attend West Central?
We have one qualification. You got to be 16 years or older. Beyond that, you come to us, you tell us what we want, what you want to do, and we can even help you decide what you're good at, give you a series, a battery of some surveys that kind of help you to describe where you would be good or what types of fields you might work in well. But beyond being 16, we have a test that we typically give to determine where your skill levels are. It's not an entrance test in the fact that anybody that wants to go to school can go to school. So it just tells you where you need to start. In other words, if you come in and you're not real good at algebra and the particular field is going to require a little algebra or a little trigonometry, they might say, here's where you're at in math, this is the class you need to take, and this is the path that you need to go on. So other than being 16, there's no real requirement that says you can or cannot. We're an open access institution.
Well, you mentioned the very low, extremely low tuition. It takes money to operate a college just like it takes money to operate a city. Where does the other funding sources for the college come from? Well,
there are primarily two funding sources. The largest funding source that we have, which is now in the 60% range, is state appropriations. We get appropriations for personnel and for operating costs. The balance of our dollars for operating a college come from tuition and fees. So with that, we're always at the table looking for more state appropriations, of course, but we know in our economy and we know with the struggling economy in the state of Georgia that, you know, we're in very interesting times when it comes to budgets, but we think the value of education is critical to the success of the state of Georgia, and really important when companies began to examine where they want to relocate. They want a good, trained, skilled workforce.
Well, it's interesting that you mentioned that. We here in Douglasville, we have a new development authority, a city development authority, that of course is going to be attracting and recruiting businesses that basically employ a large number of people with relatively high pay scales. And one of the things that your college offers that is a tremendous benefit for communities, in my opinion, is your Quick Start program. I wonder if you could take a few minutes and tell our audience how that works.
There's a couple of things about Quick Start. It's a program in Georgia if a company is just relocating to the state of Georgia, or it's an existing company that's growing the number of jobs that they have at their current facility. There's some base criteria that needs to be met. But in the event that that happens, that they meet that criteria, the state of Georgia will provide training for potential employees and current employees for free. They'll come in, do an assessment, an evaluation, and really for no fee help train that workforce, so when the company's building is built or their equipment arrives, they're trained, they're ready, they start to work right immediately, and hopefully what we would say being very, very productive employees. In addition to that, the technical college system of Georgia is very nimble and very flexible, different than some of the other organizations. If a company comes to us as a college and says, listen, we're going to have this new product line and it requires our employees to know this, this, and this, and they tell us what they are, we can develop a program within a matter of weeks to develop those skill sets. So it's, you know, that's why we get calls all the time from companies that says, you know, now all of a sudden I need robotic welders. Well, it's our job to develop enough robotic welders to meet the need. So we're very nimble and very flexible. It doesn't have to go through a series of you know, faculty reviews, you know, to the point that it takes 2 or 3 years to actually turn a program.
Right.
It's a matter of weeks. So we're very nimble and very flexible in that regard. We're about workforce development and economic development.
Well, I tell you, we're excited about that. As I said, we are just starting a development authority to recruit those kind of businesses. And that is an extremely good tool to offer to folks that are thinking about coming here and they're wondering, where are my employees going to come from? And once I get the employees, are they going to be trained? And that's a major decision as companies are deciding, do I want to locate in Douglasville or some other city around the United States? So for us here in Douglasville, I see it as a big, big opportunity. And I know you've had some tremendous success stories. The Honda plant out in Tallapoosa, I believe your college system trained a large part of those employees and was probably one of the things that attracted Honda to this area.
Sure. We last year at one point in time we had 14 Quick Start projects going on at the same time, and many of them were new companies that were moving into the area. So yeah, it's a very attractive tool to be able to partner with development authorities, to partner with the chambers and the counties and the K-12 systems to say, all right, company that's interested, here's what we have to offer.
Right.
Whatever you need, you tell us, and we'll make sure that you have it when you need it. You know, companies are interested in their employees having good school systems, but they're also interested in making sure that there's a workforce there that is trained or that can be trained and that will meet their needs, not just when they open the doors, but from now on.
And also, it's my understanding that you have a wonderful GED program. If someone wants to go through that, someone in our audience today that wants to get their high school diploma, what's the process for them to go through? Because that's important to a lot of folks.
First, let me say, at this point in time, at last figures, there's 1.3 million Georgians at the working age that do not have a high school diploma or GED. This is very limiting to students or individuals who are looking for jobs where the minimal qualifications from a company is that you have a high school diploma or GED. Last week, we were awarded several awards at the state convention for adult education. Our Douglasville site won the highest awards for the number of GED students that were trained. for that size. We have small, medium, and large. We're a medium-sized operation, and we were first place in the number of GED students that we train there. If you're interested in going back to school, if you're interested in getting that GED, you know, now is about the best opportunity you can find to do that. The cost is zero. You come into our office, you tell folks what you're interested in. They'll direct you to the right folks. Again, we'll have you fill out some paperwork so we can identify what your needs are. We'll get you through orientation, get you in some classes. It's up to you to attend the classes and do the work, but we can, by a series of evaluations, tell you what you need to brush up on in order to pass the test when you sit for it. Some folks can do it as little in a month, you know, go through all the training they need, and sometimes it may take a year, depending on, you know, where they're at in some of these levels. But for this service to be free, it is one of the things that the technical colleges do. So, you know, I would just encourage folks, if they have any interest at all, to certainly contact some folks at our campuses and begin that process of education and getting back to get that GED so you can get a better job.
Tremendous benefit for our community.
I agree.
Congratulations on your award.
Oh, we're excited about that, and we're actually renovating some space at our Douglasville campus. We're going to add 4 or 5 new classrooms just for adult education so we can meet the growing demand as we see folks moving out to Douglas County and the county continue to grow. Our needs are great. In fact, we typically don't advertise because we have every spot filled that we can handle, but now we're making a lot more space available. So we're excited about the number of students and the lives that we'll be able to touch with this new space.
Well, you know, I've been reading a lot about the state's budget cuts and some of the things that are being recommended by the governor and very possibly could be enacted. And I know that's going to affect all colleges and universities and technical schools. And some of the numbers I've read in the paper are as much as a 10% reduction. What are you expecting at our West Central campuses, and how are we going to be able to operate with that kind of budget reduction?
Well, we are blessed as a college because we're growing real fast. And we have more students, there's more tuition coming in, but there are a number of things that we're doing to cut the budget. Certainly, we've had to produce a 6, 8, and a 10% budget cut proposal to the governor's office. Currently, we're taking a 6% cut. All out-of-state travel is cut off. No purchase of vehicles. We're changing our phone system to be a little more efficient. We're going to a 4.5-day work week. We're going to start closing at noon on Friday, shutting down the heating and the air conditioning units to save utility costs. So we've identified a number of things that we can do to get to that 6% cut. And that is 6% cut of those state appropriations. It's not a 6% cut of our overall budget. It's just 6% of those state appropriations.
Okay.
So we know we got to make up that difference. And again, the best insulation for our employees is that we have more students and we're serving more students, and they're excited about coming, and that they keep filling the halls of the classroom and the students there. So
now, also as a result of some of these budget cuts, there's some consolidation of technical schools that I'm not sure what the status is, but it was my understanding that's one of the initiatives that's going to be looked at.
Long term, the state is going to have to address a number of budget issues, and certainly we are a state agency, a little bit different than the Board of Regents or the K-12 system. They're constitutionally created, but we are a state agency. Our budget as such is set by the legislature and signed off by the governor every year, and we know that these budget cuts are not to be presumed to be short-term budget cuts, but to be long-term cuts. Our state board with the Technical College System of Georgia a couple of months ago voted to merge 14 of the technical colleges into 7 to reduce the total number of technical colleges. We're involved in that merger. West Central Technical College is going to merge with West Georgia Technical College located in LaGrange. Upon completion of that merger, which should be finished by, or at least be ready to go by July 1 of next year, the combined colleges will represent the second largest technical college in the state of Georgia. So with that comes some degree of clout in terms of numbers of students, in terms of the legislative group that's going to represent us at the Gold Dome. and a lot of opportunities for students. We see more programs that can be shared between the technical schools, more student organizations, expanding athletics, you name it, and we can see opportunities for students galore. So we're actually rather excited about this opportunity. It's going to be a lot of work, but in the end, we're going to say students are going to be better off for the merger.
So you're going to be the second largest technical school in the state of Georgia.
Yes.
You have 4 campuses now, and you're merging another campus.
That's where West Georgia Technical College in LaGrange will merge, so these 2 schools will become one. There'll be a new name of some sort for these 2 schools, but you'll know who we are. And by next fall, we anticipate about 7,000 combined enrollment in these 2 schools, making them the second largest.
Wow, well, congratulations.
It's exciting.
On your expansion and being the number 2 in the state. And we're proud that you're in our community. As we end today's program, I wonder if we could just give our viewers some information about who they need to contact or how they need to get in touch. If I'm sitting at home watching this program and I've decided this is something I want to do, what's my next step? What should I do?
Well, there's several things. First, we're set up at all of our campuses. If you're interested in coming to West Central Technical College, if you're interested in expanding your skill sets, you want to get started back with GED or whatever the case might be, you can come into any of our campus, make your request known, and we'll direct you to a number of folks, a counselor that'll sit down with you one-on-one and find out really where you're going, what you need to do, and kind of get you on the right path. You can also contact our website at www.westcentraltech, that's one word, .edu. And it gives the phone numbers and locations of all of our campuses. Give us a call. We can get you in the right direction. But I do encourage you to drop by the campus. Just visit, talk to some students on the campus, see what it's like. We think that you'll be pleased with what you hear and what you see.
Well, Dr. Sullivan, thank you for joining us today. And thank you for the wonderful job that you are doing personally, your board of directors, your staff, your foundation board. We appreciate what you're doing for our community.
Well, we've got good folks. I'll just say that at all levels, our board, our employees, they do the job. It makes my job very easy when they do what they do. So
thank you for all that you do.
Glad we're in the community. Thank you very much, Mayor Dodson.
We could not be our best if it were not for the excellent leadership on our board of directors and with our foundation. I want to recognize the chairperson of our board of directors at this time, Ms. Janice Thompson.
Just this past year, our enrollment increased by 17.8%. Yes, that's 17.8%, where we served more than 11,000 students through our diploma and our credit programs.
I am president of the foundation board, and what an honor it is to be standing celebrating 40 years of service.
It's an education for everybody. We've not just now had these typical colleges that people can go to. People can decide to go get technical education at any point in their life, no matter what age they are. What a deal at $36 a credit. You know, you hear about what college educations are costing today, and yet you're going to give somebody an opportunity to change their life for $36 a credit hour. That's unbelievable. Not only that, there's plenty of assistance that we hope we will be able to get to these people that can't even afford that, but that we can offer them assistance to go ahead, because we understand and we know if we make them a better citizen, then our community is going to be better. The more people that we help to get that education and become the person that they can be, the better off we're all going to be.
Well, thank you for being with us on today's Ask the Mayor program. Wasn't that a great program with Dr. Sullivan? He and his staff and his board of directors and all the people at our West Central Technical System are doing a tremendous job, and we appreciate him taking the time out of his day to talk with us. And for those of you who are interested in the programs that Dr. Sullivan talked about, I encourage you to get in touch with West Central. Again, thank you for joining us on today's Ask the Mayor program.